What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another video. Today I'm excited to do another NBA video. I haven't done one of these videos in so long, so it's kind of exciting. I decided also that I was thinking like maybe one day I can make like a Roblox video, one day an NBA video, one day an NFL video, and then maybe like another day like a video that's other than NBA, NFL, or Roblox, because I like making all of those videos, and I know some of you are subscribed to my channel because of Roblox videos. Some of you are subscribed because of NBA videos, NFL videos, and some other videos. It just depends. But today I'm here with this NBA video where I rank all the teams based on how much I like them. So this is like an opinionated ranking. So don't get mad if if I have your favorite team too low or too high. It's just how much I like them. It's just my opinion. So yeah, let's get right into the video. Alright, so I want to get through these teams at the bottom of the list really quickly, because I just don't like talking about it. I don't want people to hate on me. I'm sorry, Pistons fans. I have the Detroit Pistons at number 30. There's just not much to talk about with them. It's not like I hate them, but I don't really like them either. So at 29, I have the Sacramento Kings. I feel like there's not much to talk about with them either. I guess, like, the only thing to really talk about is that, since they're in the state of California, the teams that are superior to California are the Lakers and the Warriors, and now it's starting to become the Clippers too. So I feel like, the Kings, I think maybe they should get relocated, or maybe those other good teams in California should get relocated, so that way California has a good team and a bad team. But I don't know. I'm not a big fan of the Sacramento Kings. All right, so at 28, I have the Knicks, but the Knicks have been through too much. I don't even want to talk too much about them because they've probably heard it all. So yeah, let's just get right to the next team. At number 27, I have the Washington Wizards. I feel like for the Wizards, DC has to have a better team. They're the capital of the United States, and the Wizards, they always make the playoffs. Well, they didn't last year, but they mostly make the playoffs, but, they struggle in the first or second round, so that's why I have them there. At number 26, I have the New Orleans Pelicans. For the Pelicans, same as these other teams, they just don't have much playoff experience or playoff success. They have playoff experience, but not playoff success. And I don't want to make that the excuse for every team, because this is like my favorite team. This is not ranking the teams, because I'm taking into account for all time how they're playing right now, their fan base. I'm just ranking about every single aspect of the team. So that's why I have them right there. At 25, I have the Brooklyn Nets. Now we're getting to the teams that I hate. I hate the Brooklyn Nets. I may even have these teams below the other teams, but there wasn't much to talk about those teams, so I got them out of the way. The Nets, I just don't like them. They're full of snakes, Kevin Durant, Kyrie. Sorry if you're a Nets fan, I'm just not a fan of them. At number 24, I have the Utah Jazz. I feel like we're getting back to some of those teams where it's like, I don't hate them, but I don't like them. So that's why I have them right here. I'm just not a big fan of them. Okay, so at number 23, I have the San Antonio Spurs. I feel like for them, it's a little bit of a different story, because actually, usually teams I like now, and then I didn't like them before, but for them, I actually don't like them as much now, but I liked them before, because I just liked them a lot when they had Tim Duncan, and like in 2014, and when they were playing in the finals, 2013, 2014 against LeBron James, when they had Kawhi, and yeah, that's why I put them there. At number 22, I have the Phoenix Suns. Sorry, by the way, if I get the order wrong. The actual ranking number is going to be in the bottom left corner or bottom right corner. I don't know where I'm going to put the number, but I'll put it down too, because I don't want to mess up the ranking. But yeah, I had the Phoenix Suns there. just because I feel like I don't know, they're just one of those teams where it's like in fact they don't even make the playoffs much. I kind of like them. It's just that they're not a really good team when it comes to success in general. So at 21, I have the Philadelphia 76ers. So I feel like we're getting back to the teams that I hate. And the reason why I hate them is because, well, once you'll find out what team I'm a fan of. If you've been watching my videos for a while, you probably know what team I'm a fan of. But I'll get to that in a moment. But so for the team I'm a fan of, we're kind of rivals. So I naturally just don't like them. And we play against each other a lot in the playoffs. So that's why I had them at that spot. So now for the next few teams, there's just not a lot to talk about, so I'm gonna get through them quickly. And also, I spent a lot of time on the teams at the bottom of the list, and I'm gonna spend a lot of time for the teams at the top of the list. So I'm just gonna quickly name some of these teams. It doesn't mean that I hate them or anything. So at 20, I have the Minnesota Timberwolves. At 19, I have the Orlando Magic. At 18, I have the Memphis Grizzlies. At 17, I have the Charlotte Hornets. And for the Hornets, there was something I was going to talk about. So I never used to like them, kind of like the Spurs, but now I like them a lot because of LaMelo Ball. And I think they're a more fun team with LaMelo Ball and Gordon Hayward and Terry Rozier. They're just a more fun team now, and they look like they're playoff contenders. So now with these teams, I'm starting to get even more neutral with them, and it's going to start going uphill after this. So if your teams haven't been mentioned yet, then you should probably be happy now. So Milwaukee Bucks I have at 16. They're also a rival with the team I have at number 1. It's just that I really respect the Bucks, and I feel like I have a lot of respect for Giannis, so that's why I have them there. At 15, I have the Los Angeles Clippers, kind of like what I was talking about before. They're not as bad as the Kings, but they're not as good as the Lakers or the Warriors. So sorry guys, I feel like I was talking a little bit more from like a how good they are perspective. So I'm just gonna go back. I was ranking them from how much I like them, but I was just talking too much about how good they are. So like for the Hawks, I really like Trae Young. I think they have a bright future. They used to be in St. Louis. I think they won a couple of championships when they were in St. Louis, but overall, I really like them, and I think that they're going to be a really good team in the future. At number 13, I have the Denver Nuggets. For the Nuggets, I really like their young core of Jokic and Murray, especially watching them in the bubble last year. I just loved watching Jamal Murray and Jokic. They just played so good, especially against the Jazz in the 7-game series. I loved watching that series. That was one of my favorite ones. And I think they have a really bright future. At number 12, I have the Houston Rockets. So I feel like overall as a franchise, for like all time, they're a pretty good team. I think they've won a couple championships with Hakeem, I believe. You can correct me in the comment section if I'm wrong about that, because I'm curious to learn about that. But I feel like ever since James Harden's left, I've had less interest in them, especially since at the time I'm recording this, they've lost 20 games straight. I think a lot of you might be surprised with this one, but I have the Cleveland Cavaliers at number 11. And one of the reasons for that is because they have really loyal fans. And whenever I think of the Cavs, or whenever I think of LeBron, I think a lot of people this would apply to a lot of people too. But whenever I think of LeBron, I always think of when he played for the Cavs rather than the Heat or the Lakers. And I feel like I think if I could bring back any team of all time, it would be the 2016 Cavs. Like even I wasn't even a fan of them, but I just really enjoyed it just brought me joy watching them. Even if you were a Warriors fan or whatever team you were a fan of, even if it brought you just a little bit of happiness, everybody was happy watching that championship. It was a very iconic championship, and that's one of the reasons why I have the Cavs at that spot. So it looks like we finally enter the top 10. So I have the Lakers at number 10. So they're also a rival of my favorite team. So I think it's kind of given away what team I'm a fan of. But anyways, I really respect the Lakers, even though they're a big rival of my favorite team. Kobe, I was really sad and devastated when I heard about his death. So rest in peace, Kobe. And LeBron, I have a lot of respect for him, even though he's one of our team's rivals in general, not just because he's on the Lakers. So yeah, you've probably figured out what team I'm a fan of already, but I have the Lakers at number 10. At number 9, I have the Chicago Bulls. And what I'm about to say, I think a lot of people are going to get confused at first, but I'm going to defend that statement. So what I was going to say was, I think the Chicago Bulls, they're one of those teams where they're not just good once, they're good in multiple eras, just like the Lakers, who I just talked about. Like, I'm sorry, I'm getting to how good they are again. So I really like them when they had Derrick Rose. That's why a lot of people like them. And also, like, they were good then, but then also, I think what they're known for most is because of when Michael Jordan played for them. So yeah, that's like two eras where they were good, but I think like when Michael Jordan played for them, that's really what made them. That's really what shaped their team. So that's why I had them at number 9. At number 8, I have the Oklahoma City Thunder. I I feel like I like them once they relocated to Oklahoma. I didn't really watch basketball when they played for Seattle, but I've started disliking them ever since first I've slowly started disliking them. Like first KD left, then who else left? Then I think Serge Ibaka, maybe he left a little bit earlier than KD. Westbrook left, Steven Adams left. They've slowly they're just trying to trade for draft picks, and they're trying to go with that kind of approach, and I don't even know if that's the right path that they should take. So I've slowly started disliking them, but this was a couple years back, they would have been way higher on the list, but that's where I have them right now. At 7, I have the Golden State Warriors. For the Warriors, I just really loved when it was Cavs versus Warriors in the finals. The Warriors are even good to this day, and I think Curry might even be in the MVP conversation, which not a lot of people have been talking about. Some people have, but a lot of people just have Embiid or LeBron. But I feel like Curry should definitely be in that conversation because he's played so good, even with Clay out, and people think that he can't. People thought at the beginning of the season he can't do it on his own, and they're still kind of looking like a playoff contender. And I like them when they were winning championships, and I just really loved watching Cavs versus Warriors in the finals. So that's why I had them there. I have the Portland Trailblazers at number 6, and for the reason for that is because of player this time, and that player's name is Damian Lillard. Dame time. So he's in the MVP conversation this year, just like Curry. I feel like he deserves to be in that conversation, and he's the clutchest player in the NBA. And if not, he might even be like the clutchest player of all time. But there's arguments about that. But he's definitely the clutchest player in the NBA today. If I could choose any player from the NBA to take the last shot, I would definitely choose Dame. So, yeah, I just really like the Blazers, and I feel like if they were I really hope they go to the finals and maybe even win the championship one day. I feel like if they weren't always injured and if they were just healthy for like an entire season, then I think they would have a chance at making a deep playoff run, just like they did, I think 2 years ago when they almost went to the NBA Finals. Now entering the top 5, I have the Toronto Raptors at number 5. I feel like for them, I think it's great that the NBA has a team from Canada, just like even if it's one team, and they might even add more teams. I think the NBA should expand and maybe have more teams from other countries as well. Maybe like one from Mexico or something like that. I don't know. But anyways, the Raptors, I think I just loved watching them win the championship. in 2019 because like just watching the country's reaction, because it's not just like Toronto's reacting. Like it's not just like Toronto wants them to win. The whole country's rooting for them, which is really crazy. And Canada, it's a big country. I think it's the second biggest country in the world. So I think it's great that the NBA has a team outside of the United States. So yeah, I have the Dallas Mavericks at number 4. I feel like they're one of those teams where either you hate them or you like them or you hate them, and for me, I like them. Um, so one of the reasons I like them is I feel like they've been good like for a while now. They won the championship in 2011. They were the underdogs then too. They I really like Dirk. I respect him. Luka's one of my favorite players in the NBA right now, and I feel like they have a bright future ahead of them. And I hope that they can get to the finals again. All right, so now we're entering the top 3. At number 3, I have the Indiana Pacers. I have watched one of their games before in person. I actually watch most of their games because they always come on TV for some reason. But I really like watching the Pacers. I feel like they're one of the more underrated teams in the league. I've always loved watching them, especially the last 2 years. But I also like watching them when Paul George was played for them. I feel like a lot more people liked them when Paul George played for them, but and now people are starting to hate him, and people don't even talk about the Pacers anymore. But I feel like people should. I think Miles Turner should be Defensive Player of the Year, even though a lot of people aren't even talking about that. Sabonis, I think he deserved to be an All-Star. He was an All-Star, but he was snubbed at first, and then since I think who was injured again? Was it because of Kevin Durant's injury? I don't remember who it was, but I remember he was a replacement for one of the players in the All-Star game. But I feel like the Pacers are one of the most slept-on teams in the NBA, and they're one of my favorite teams in the NBA as well. So at number 2, I have the Miami Heat, and I feel like they're more of a family than a team. Like, I like a lot of people respect them. I respect them myself. That's why I have them at number 2. I loved watching them when Dwayne Wade was there. I was really sad when he had his last game, and I watched that game. And also, now I like their team. They made it to the finals, and it was tough to decide between the Celtics and the Heat in the finals. I think you have the number 1 team on this list already revealed, but it was like a tough one trying to find who to root for in the Eastern Conference Finals. Actually, not really, but I have a lot of respect for the Heat. They're not my favorite team, but I have them at number 2. I really like their team. I like Jimmy Butler, Bam, Tyler Herro. I think they have a really good team. Really fun team too, and that's why I have them at number 2. So yeah, that means my favorite NBA team is the Boston Celtics. I really like them. They've always been good with Bill Russell. He won 11 championships. And then Paul Pierce and Kevin Garnett and Ray Allen, that era, they won in 2008. They went to the finals in 2010. And ever since then, they've always been a playoff team. They've not went to the finals since then, but I've always still loved watching them. This year, I don't know, they've been an okay team. I think they have as many wins as losses. In fact, I think they have less at this moment that I'm recording this video. But anyways, I love Jason Tatum. I loved Kyrie when he played for the Celtics. Even though like Kyrie plays for the Nets and all that right now, I'm still starting to respect him a little bit more, and I understand that you can't just hate a player because he leaves a team. There's more that goes into that, and he's an NBA player. He has his own life. He decided to leave the Celtics. There's probably something I don't know about the Celtics that made him want to leave. And I liked Isaiah Thomas when he played for them too. And I don't know if you guys can tell right now. I know that was a lot of recording. I'm sorry about that. my voice hurts a lot right now too. So from talking. So I think that's going to be all for today's video. I may do one for the NFL too, where I rank all 32 teams. I hope it doesn't take as long as this video, but there's a lot to talk about for this video. Anyways, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you in my next video.